Yo, what up YouTube? Alonso Q. Let's see how quick I can keep this video about why Trump should be president better than Clinton. Why it'll be better for America. I'm not saying he's going to be a great president, but I think he would be the better president for America at this time in American history. And here's why I think that. First off, I'm really more voting against Hillary Clinton. This is really more about Hillary Clinton cannot be our next president. I should probably make that clear. I should also make it clear I'm not a Trump loyalist. I disagree with many of his policies. He bugs me in many different ways, but not as many as Hillary Clinton. So, by default, he pretty much has my vote at this point. Now, why do I feel that way? First off, Hillary's a criminal, a crook, and a liar. That's an easy one. What she did in deleting subpoenaed information. Can you imagine what would happen if you did that? And just think for a second, if you've ever had someone in your family who did time or went to jail or prison or some got screwed over by a judge or faced some kind of consequences over some petty law breaking. Now, you cannot vote for Hillary Clinton. She's the epitome of rich millionaire establishment assholes who gets away with anything because they're well connected. She did not face any consequences for her gross neglect at the very least because she's claiming, "Oh, I didn't know I couldn't do that." The famous Dave Chappelle line. That's Hillary Clinton's excuse. She didn't know she couldn't do that. That's unacceptable. So beyond that, though, beyond the fact that Hillary Clinton is she should be disqualified just from her corruption and criminal activities. But beyond that, Democrats are deplorable in how they've run this election. I am grossly offended by the racist, race-baiting, racial extortion, whatever you want to call it. What the Democrats have done this election is disgusting, the way they try to use race to force us into the Democratic Party. It is a shame, and honestly, I don't think I will ever vote for a Democrat. I don't think they could ever undo this. I've seen the dark side of the liberals in this election. The way they've assaulted Trump supporters, the way they've slandered Trump supporters. I have lost, any sympathy I had for the left is pretty much gone after this election, and it will take a miracle for them to ever gain my respect again. So the left is out. I would not consider them. But here's the thing. I was going to vote third party. I'm a Johnson supporter. I really want him to get in the debates. Let Gary debate. Hashtag let Gary debate. But hey, this is America. We don't have a democracy. We have two corporate candidates, and Donald Trump's the better one. And he's not that good. That's just how bad Hillary is. But he's better, and here's why I think he would be a better pick for president. And this is the main reason. This is the practical reason why you should vote for Donald Trump and not Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton, all you have to do is look at the media and how much they kiss her ass, how much they cover her trail, how much they buy into everything she says, they correct things she says wrong, they give her every benefit of the doubt. Her and her people have infinite influence on the media. She's got tentacles in the media, she's got tentacles in the DOJ, tentacles in the FBI, tentacles everywhere that there is power and influence to be corrupted. She's got a tentacle in there. So think about this. How many people hate Donald Trump? How many people are scrutinizing every word he says, every action he takes, following him nonstop? Imagine how this is going to carry over into the presidency. Hillary Clinton has the media in her pocket. Do you want a president who's been proven to be a criminal, proven to be corrupt, who has a history of shady behavior for her entire time in politics, and you're going to pick her who has the media in her pocket, who are going to cover up everything she does, There is almost no accountability held to Hillary Clinton. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is probably the most scrutinized presidential candidate ever. And if he's elected, there will never be a president who's been more hounded and more scrutinized than Donald Trump. He will not catch a break from the media. He will not catch a break from you. He will not catch a break from me. He will not catch a break from the Democrats, from Hillary Clinton. Nobody is going to cut Donald Trump slack, except for, his real diehard supporters. But they're not the media. Breitbart will have his back, but the media will not in general. He will be scrutinized constantly. And people are just ignoring the fact, and it's because of the Democrats and their deplorable fucking campaign that they've been running, that they have put this idea forward that electing Donald Trump is the end of the republic, as if all rule of law goes out the window just from electing Donald Trump. It's ridiculous. There's still checks and balances. We still have the Constitution. We still have the rule of law. If he violates the rule of law, he will be impeached. What? Do you really think Donald Trump could not get impeached? Of course he could. Of course people are going to hold him to a higher standard than what he's portraying himself as. And yes, he's said outrageous and terrible things. But look, his worst policies are unconstitutional, and people are going to tell him that the second he tries to implement them, because it's not a game anymore. Right now he's playing a game with the media, and he's really done a great job at it. He's shown his ability as a leader to not spend his donations money. All the people giving him money are mostly people. He's getting it from individuals, not corporations like Hillary Clinton, or not Wall Street like Hillary Clinton. He's getting it from people, and he's not wasting it on stupid advertisement campaigns. He is playing the media because he's savvy. He might not be the most politically knowledgeable person, but he's a smart guy. And he's using the media against themselves because they're idiots. So he earns points for me there. But they're still on his ass, so nobody's going to cut him slack. If he tries to do something that's illegal, he's not going to be able to. And most of his worst policies, he's not going to be able to implement. Immigration, for example. That is the thing I disagree with him most on, probably. Because he's talking about deporting people. I really don't care about a wall. I think that's a stupid idea and a waste of money. If it's Mexico's money, I care about it less. I know that's a dick thing to say, but that's the truth. That's why government sucks, because you don't care about spending other people's money. That's just a fact of nature, That's why government is corrupt, because it's somebody else's money. There's no guilt spending someone else's money. And if it's another government, you care even less. So the wall, it's a bad economic plan, but there's nothing illegal about that. Deporting people, I have an issue with, but every illegal immigrant has a right to a hearing with a judge. And he's not going to be able to violate that. If he does, all the media is going to be on him. The Congress is going to be on him. He's going to get impeached if he does something illegal. He just will. So I'm not scared of him overstepping his bounds. Yes, he will probably step up the number of deportations, but Obama's been doing it. They've been locking families up in detention centers and stuff. Don't act like the Democrats' hands are clean. The way the law is right now, Donald Trump isn't really talking about doing something outside the law. He's talking about enforcing the law as it is. Now, I disagree with the law as it is, and I plan on fighting to change that. And it might take 4 years. It might take 8 years. We might have to sit this one out with a Donald Trump to get to better immigration laws and a better. But who knows? He might not even need the wall or to deport people. Just the fact that his scary ass face is in the White House might get people to chill and just put it out there in the universe. Like, no, man, we're serious about this. It could just be a bluff. But regardless of that, I'm not scared of him really overstepping his bounds, because we do have checks and balances in this country. He could get impeached. he's going to have advisors in there telling him what he can't do as far as the Constitution. So I think people are really overblowing this idea that he's a tyrant. And so that brings me to a couple things that I actually really agree with him on. Second Amendment. Now, the Second Amendment is integral to the Bill of Rights. It's integral to the Constitution. It's one of the most fundamental rights. And not only is it a fundamental right protected by our Constitution, it's a natural right that comes from God, as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, I'm an atheist, so when I say it comes from God, I just mean it's natural. It comes from within you. You are born with a right to defend yourself. And Donald Trump gets that. He's defending the Second Amendment. Hillary Clinton does not defend the Second Amendment, which is the number one red flag for a tyrant, is they want your guns. Donald Trump is letting you keep your guns. You can't be a tyrant over an armed populace. That's just, it doesn't happen. So that's really reassuring to me. And not only reassuring, I wouldn't vote for a Democrat who wants to take away your guns or who wants to limit your rights to own a gun. So that's a big deal to me. I'm a big Bill of Rights person. Both candidates are attacking the First Amendment, but only one is attacking the Second Amendment, and the Second Amendment is what protects the First Amendment. So keep that in mind. The other thing that I really agree with Donald Trump on is education. Education happens to be the one thing that I really care about. I happen to think if anything is going to change this country for the better, it's going to be education reform. Because I don't think it's a coincidence that the government monopoly schools that everybody's forced to go to and be indoctrinated by, people come out of there thinking that more government, bigger government, is the solution to everything. It doesn't seem a coincidence that that's what they learned in public school. And you can see it with Hillary's policy. Hillary's education policy is just throw more money at it. Like Democrats think the solution to everything is just, throw a few $1 billion here, pass a couple more laws here. Let's give more money and more regulation. That's what schools need. Donald Trump gets the issue. Hillary Clinton is completely clueless on education. But Donald Trump understands what people need is choice. He's saying he's open to charter schools and vouchers and giving people a tax credit or a voucher to go to a different school. If your only option is a piece of shit public school, you want a voucher to go to a better school. And Hillary Clinton is full of shit. She said, vouchers are okay, but they might be unconstitutional. No, they're not. The Supreme Court already ruled on this. Vouchers are perfectly constitutional. They are the answer to our education problem because we need choice. That is the problem that people have. Government is a monopoly. It has no incentive to provide a good service. So there's a reason that we pay more than any other country for education, and we're something like 28th. If we're paying more than everybody else, shouldn't we be number one? But Hillary's solution is just throw money at it. Money is not the problem. Lack of choice is the problem. So Donald Trump actually gets this issue. I think it is the most fundamental issue facing our country right now. And it's completely ignored with all of this election, whatever, this sideshow, this circus event that is the election. But he gets it. Education needs to be decentralized. The federal government should not be dictating education policy. And so we should cut education at the federal level, and we should promote school choice for people. This is a huge deal to me, as you can probably tell. So the fact that Hillary Clinton is completely against vouchers and she just wants to throw money at the public schools, she misses the mark completely. And I, as if I wasn't going to vote for enough already, education is my pet issue, and her stance on it's not going to accomplish anything. Donald Trump's actually would make a huge difference in the education of our young, and we might actually get a well-educated populace who could move beyond somebody like a Donald Trump. So yeah, is there other reasons to vote for Trump? I lean conservative. I'm a libertarian, so we like the Constitution. I think he'll pick a more constitutional Supreme Court justice than Hillary Clinton. I do not trust her. If you know anything about how political and corrupt the Clintons are, you know it's going to be a political handout to somebody on the Supreme Court. That's just another reason. Mostly, though, people are going to hold him into account, and his worst policies he can't do because they're unconstitutional, which means that he might actually get to do his better policies like education. And, you know, look, he's got his issues. He wants to cut taxes. I'm all for cutting taxes, but he's not cutting spending to go with it. But hey, if he cuts taxes, then it's going to force us to have to address the spending situation. So I think there's a lot of reasons to vote for Trump. There's a lot of reasons not to vote for Trump, but there's even more to not vote for Hillary Clinton. So yeah, you know, I meant to try to keep it quick, but what do you think? What do you think? I'm looking at this pragmatically, logically, from my perspective as somebody who values liberty, and I want to see the country go in a more libertarian direction. I don't see that happening with Hillary Clinton. So tell me what you think. Like, subscribe, and keep an eye out for the next one. Peace, gente.